What is up, fam? It is your boy, the Conservative Bear, and welcome to another episode of the Chicanos News Network. I know the stream said that I was going to have a bunch of guests on, but unfortunately, it's that time of the year for people not to be able to make it for family emergencies or whatever. So it looks like it's just us tonight. But I do got a lot of information to give out, and I got a lot of information that I want to talk about. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm still going to keep this show running. Sorry it's so late. I was waiting. I just got some information, but let's gig on this show. All right, guys. So the first topic that I wanted to talk about was going to be the 5 teenagers who were charged after attacking and carjacking a Democratic congressperson. 5 teenagers were charged in Delaware after they were found in the vehicle that had been stolen at gunpoint in Philadelphia from the United States Representative Mary Gay Scanlon. Police said Thursday all 5 suspects were apprehended as they were attempted to flee the scene about 45 miles from the site of the Wednesday afternoon robbery. Josiah Brown, 19, had been carrying the keys to Scanlon's blue SUV. Police said he was charged by the FBI with carjacking, a weapons offense, aiding and abetting. The 3 other males, 16, 15, and 13, and 14, and a 14-year-old female were each charged with receiving stolen property. So that's what's going on right now, dude. So I find that kind of hilarious to see that this is the bullshit that's going on across this country, and it when it comes to these kind of people, these Democratic leaders, and to see them that they're always, talking about no guns, no guns, no guns. Well, guess what? When you don't want guns and you don't want police officers, carjackings are going to happen in your area. I feel bad that this happened, but you got your car back. So that's the thing. But come talking about it, listen to what Jen Psaki and the Biden administration had to say about this.
If the president is giving big cities historic levels of funding and members of Congress are going home and getting carjacked at gunpoint, then what else can the president do, or what else is the president going to do to keep people safe?
Well, this is a priority for the president. I want to be clear that this proposal for additional funding for the COPS program has been something the president proposed several months ago. Obviously, we'd love to get that passed in the budget next year. We'd love to continue to step up a range of the programs we've had around the country, strike forces that have been helping individual cities, working with law enforcement partnerships to help individual cities, and that's something we're going to continue to do. The president has never supported defunding the police. He's always been an advocate for adequate funding and ensuring that police departments and community policing programs have exactly what they need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the president has never been against defunding the police. Every Democrat that's in office right now is about defunding the police, and they can't sit there and lie about it. You know damn well that every time that they come out and something happens during the summer of love, it was always defund the police, defund the police, defund the police. And you want to know what?
That's why you fail.
And that is why they fail. That is the situation that is going across all these Democratic cities all across the world. I got one of my guests. He's in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with the utmost applause, Savage 50/50. What's up, Savage?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Good, man. Glad you could make it.
Yeah. I thought Joel was making. I seen you said 9:15, but he said 9:30, so I was confused.
It's all good, Savage. Dude, so welcome to the Conservative Bear Show, man. I really appreciate you taking the time out to come on the show. Greg Kelly should be on soon. He's with family for the holidays, but he said he's going to make it. Cool. So I don't know if you were hearing me talking, but there was 5 teenagers that were caught red-handed inside the car of the Delaware Democrat Mary Gay Scanlon's vehicle. One was a 19-year-old. I don't know if you were able to look at any of this. What are your thoughts on that?
You know what? I actually didn't catch that. How recent is that?
This was today.
Wow. No wonder. I've been sleeping all day.
So let me just give you a background. So she was robbed in Philadelphia at gunpoint in a car. They took off with her brand new Mercedes. They found them in Delaware. They found a few people in it. Josiah Brown's 19. They got 3 other males, 16, 15, and 13, and then a 14-year-old female who were charged with receiving stolen property. All but the 15-year-old were also charged with resisting arrest and criminal mischief. They were all, dude, here's the problem with American society. All of these kids were released back to the parents except for the 19-year-old.
Yeah, and this is basically home for me because I live so close to Philadelphia now. Um, wow, what color was they?
They haven't released the pictures, and I wonder why. They're either me or they're you.
Yeah, because I'm sure if they was white in Philadelphia, they got to be black anyway. Because it's just like, yeah, if they was white, they would have been like, oh, these are Trump people. It would have been like white supremacy and all kinds of crazy nonsense. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's a lot of like defunding the police and stuff like that going on in Philadelphia. I think there was a politician that was in favor of defunding the police in Philadelphia who just got carjacked. So
I think that's her.
Yeah,
This is her.
Oh yeah. Basically, what happened is she was in favor of defunding the police, and then these guys carjacked her. And but it's her fault. She contributes to the nonsense that's going on out there.
I agree with you, bro. And that's the problem with a lot of these Democrats that are out there speaking. And now Joe Biden, through Jen Psaki, I don't know if you heard the clip, she said, hey, guess what? Well, the president has always been in favor of police.
No, that's not true. And I think at one point they was trying to say that it was Republicans that was in favor of defunding the police. They tried to switch it later when they found out the polls wasn't really matching up with their agenda.
Yeah, because everybody knows that the conservatives have always been, dude, we were the ones that were getting bricked in the head, police officers being bricked in the head. But just to go a little further in this, Brown from the president's hometown of Wellington, Delaware, is expected to face federal charges in scandalous carjacking because obviously it was a federal vehicle and a federal employee. The 3 other teen carjackers were boys 13, 16, and 14, which we already talked about. They were all charged in Delaware with receiving stolen property and were released to the guardians on $1,500 unsecured bond, which means they didn't get they didn't have to collect the bond. The 5th was a 15-year-old boy charged with receiving stolen property, resisting arrest, and 2 counts of criminal mischief, according to police. He was taken to the Newcastle County Detention Center on $3,500 bond. So the 15-year-old is not out; he's still behind bars. And this is updated like 2 seconds ago. So
yeah, I wonder what the ultimate consequence will be. Probably not much of anything because a lot of these so-called sanctuary cities, they call them, they create their own rules, which is a lot of the rules they put in place are like pro-criminal. I mean, I'm sure I didn't look at it, but Philadelphia is probably no different from Chicago, where they created a law where the police aren't even allowed to chase you on foot if you commit a crime.
Oh, so it's like Walmart.
Oh yeah. It's pretty much like what's going on in California. California is basically setting a precedent for how a lot of these inner cities are being ran, and they follow one after another, where it creates a bunch of anti-police laws and pro-criminal laws, which make it easier for the criminals to get away. And then on top of the criminals getting away, even if you do arrest them, they let them right back out on the street.
And that's the problem. And even with the juveniles, bro, they're letting them back in with their families and stuff like that, not having to face any consequences. But let me roll this footage for you, bro, and let me know what you think. This just happened in Philadelphia as well.
My friend and his family got robbed at gunpoint leaving the Four Seasons in Philadelphia. People walking by as it happened either don't notice or don't care, or they're scared to get involved. There's
And they're doing this voice just to protect themselves. So what do you think about that, bro?
Um, I think that's becoming normal, more and more. Well, crime always happened since the beginning of time,
Oh yeah.
But now is this becoming more normalized, and it's easier to get away with it because you know that the police aren't really there to protect you. And then on top of that, in Philadelphia and a lot of these like democratic cities, a lot of people don't really realize they have laws put in place to make it extra damn near impossible to own a firearm in a lot of these inner cities. And on top of that, on top of not being there to have a firearm, they basically defund the police on top of taking your right away to defend yourself.
And that's one of the biggest problems when it comes to these kind of these areas where they're defunding the police. But yet, if you get caught with the firearm, you're done. You get if it's unregistered or they don't like the fact that you're carrying it a certain way. You know what I mean by if you're concealing it, you're done if you don't have a concealed carry permit. But who really wants to walk around downtown Philadelphia holding a gun in plain daylight?
The funny thing about like not being able to have a firearm, the Second Amendment is under attack, period. Anyway, some of the cities, like I live in New Jersey, and New York is the same way, and also Chicago and Los Angeles. These are cities where you're not even it's impossible to own a gun. I mean, it's impossible to actually have a gun outside of your home legally in a lot of these cities. Philadelphia, you can have a firearm, but it's really hard to actually get the permit to carry one.
Yeah, and I was reading that as well. So what's really going on in these situations? Because there was also a state senator from Chicago that was robbed as well. So this is becoming a precedent, dude. And I hope that they're actually these Congress people are looking at it like, dude, if this could happen to us, who else could this happen to?
I mean, the inner cities are completely destroyed, and I don't know if you pay attention, but also the border crisis is actually affecting a lot of the crime in a lot of these inner cities because the longer they keep the border open, that just allow more and more criminals and people who are unidentified people to just come into your city and create more violence and crime. The blacks are committing the crime, and then you got illegal immigrants they're doing whatever they want.
Yeah, dude, I was just about to say that, bro. They were talking about that because the border is so open, dude, the cartel is manufacturing way more illegal substances and they're bringing it across the border because there's nothing there to stop them from coming in. The border is wide open. And if you could get the right coyote to bring you over, dude, it's over. You got the drugs in, you got the money, and they're using little kids now also to bring that in. So you could see that the border is out of control. The inner cities are out of control.
Everything that the Democratic Party do, even the stuff that you think is not related to the violence, a lot of it is the welfare state. That's part of the violence in the inner city. When it comes to not having school choice, miseducation of children, it all creates this type of violence. Everything that the left do, we might not even realize it, but it all contributes to more and more violence. Even gas prices going up relates to more violence.
And also more theft because dude, if they didn't put those in place to where we had to prepay all the time, dude, can you imagine all the gas runs that would be going on right now?
Oh yeah, it'd be ridiculous.
But I want to move over to the topic that I wanted to have. I just wanted to touch on that subject. Kim Potter is found guilty, and I'm going to roll that clip for everybody. Where is it at? Here it is.
Manslaughter in the first degree while committing a misdemeanor on or about April 11, 2021 in Hennepin County, state of Minnesota, find the defendant guilty. And the verdict was agreed to at the hour of 11:30 a.m. and signed by the jury person on 12/23/21. The verdict on count 2 is we, the jury, on the charge of manslaughter in the second degree, culpable negligence on or about April 11, 2021, in Hennepin County, state of Minnesota, find the defendant guilty. And that verdict was agreed to at 10:30 a.m. on 12/21/21. Members of the jury, is this your true and correct verdict? So say you one, and so say you all.
Yes.
Okay, you may be seated.
There you go, guilty.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think the punishment may not suit the crime, although she should suffer a severe penalty. But I don't know how much time this is going to add up to. I'm like 15 years or more than that, based off of the conviction. But this happened like what, almost 6-7 months ago, I
Yeah.
believe. Dante Wright, we'll never really acknowledge what he was doing wrong. We'll only view what the police officer did wrong, what she did was wrong. But this could have been prevented by just simply complying with the police. You're already caught. They got your license plate, they got you pulled over. What's the point of trying to run? Dante Wright, he should have just complied. However, she made a huge mistake. I don't know how you, as a professional police officer, mistake your taser for a gun.
I think she panicked. I think she's guilty. I think she should have got second-degree manslaughter personally, and I don't think it was done in the first degree. But she panicked. She was training somebody. She essentially panicked, and that's not forgivable. And I think that she should have got second degree, which is 15 years. I think for the first degree carries 25 years. So she's looking about doing 10 to 12 and a half years in prison for being stupid is what it comes down to.
Absolutely. I mean, that was a really dumb situation where the kid, he didn't even have a weapon or anything, so it was no need for her to actually draw a firearm out at the time. I mean, I could see if Dante Wright had a firearm on him or something, then maybe it could be justified. But other than that, I don't see how you sit there and yell taser, taser, and still make that mistake. Unfortunately, a lot of these criminals, you got to realize you're putting these police officers in a high tense situation every time you try to run, resist, and everything like that. Of course, the police officer is wrong. She should suffer, and she will do some prison time, absolutely. But we also need to address, which we don't do enough, address what the criminals are doing wrong and why these black boys keep getting killed by these police officers. Because the police officers, I can't never say that they're 100% wrong. He definitely contribute to her making that mistake, although she should have been smart enough not to do something that stupid.
Yeah, especially she was on the force for a long. Obviously, she was on the force for a long time.
Yeah, I believe over 20 years.
Yeah, to be especially. Yeah, I was gonna say that even to be training somebody like that. But this is a lot of the police officers. When you come across someone that has a criminal record, they already know something about you. They know that you're usually armed, and Dante Wright already had a history of being violent. And let me roll this clip.
How he got shot.
He was back in Minnesota visiting, and on May 14th of 2019 was with friends of his at the gas station on Lowry and Logan and was shot in the head.
While he was pumping gas?
While he was pumping gas is what the police have stated to us, correct.
And who shot him?
To what's been made aware to us, Dante Wright.
And Dante Wright shot him. And did you know why Dante shot him?
I do not know. My son right now doesn't have the ability to tell me, and unfortunately Dante's not here anymore to tell me.
So they already knew Dante Wright was this kind of person that was violent. I mean, to shoot somebody at a gas station, at a gas pump, dude, that could have turned out terrible.
Now, I know the mother is saying that. Is that allegedly Dante Wright did it, or is factually proven that Dante Wright was the shooter.
From what I was reading from this article, and I still have it pulled up, he was the one of the warrants that he was on was for this case. That was for this case. So, and she said the police officers are the ones that said it was Dante Wright. Nana 1776, who's a fantastic subscriber, says he had a court date for this shooting.
Man, I ain't know all of that.
That's why you come to my show,
deep.
bro.
That's deep. You know what? Dante Wright, I don't feel bad for him. I mean, honestly, I'd rather be in Dante Wright position than the guy that's right there paralyzed like that. I guess he's like that forever.
Mm-hmm.
Probably mentally not even there. I don't know if he's able to comprehend what's going on, what they're talking about, or anything. Like, yeah, Dante, and on top of that, I heard Dante Wright was basically like a career criminal, is a juvenile, where he robbed a lady at gunpoint. Wasn't it something similar to like what George Floyd did, where he tried to rob like a pregnant woman or something at gunpoint? I believe something like that.
Actually, I have that video, and I don't know why. I got that video right here. Stay tuned. Since you're bringing it up, I'm gonna roll that footage.
Yeah, go ahead.
So he had messaged me to come hang out, and he said he was with his friends. I asked who he would be with, and he said Dante's name.
You knew Imagine from high school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I knew him. Like, we never really had conversation, we never really talked, but I had never heard anything bad about him at that point. They were kind of just procrastinating on leaving. And then I'm like, all right, we gotta go, because I gotta go do stuff. And they said, like, the ride was there, finally. So we all were like get moving towards the door, and they had their shoes on and everything ready to go. They were both by the front door waiting for me to walk out. I bent over to put my shoes on. I didn't even put the second shoe on yet. Like, I was just putting the second shoe on. And he like stands up straight, and he puts both of his hands in front of like himself, like kind of like in a stance. And he's like, I know you have the money, give me the fucking money. And I'm like, what? When I was younger, my grandma used to put money in her bra in case anybody like ever tried to take her purse. Like, that's just, you know. So I grew up just like having that in my head, but I never did that ever. And for some reason that day, that time, I felt like I should just do it. He said,
do you have any comments on this so far?
I mean, it sounded like another George Floyd, to be honest. Like, not saying he deserved what happened to him, because he should have. I would have rather him actually get prosecuted for everything that he did, including the shooting, if he was the one that shot that young boy in the head. And this, it sounded like he'd been setting this up. Maybe, you know, it sounded like he'd be setting people up on top of that. Like, you know, he's what they call a snatcher. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna roll this a little bit further.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, I know you have the money, give me the fucking money. We can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way, because we know you have it. When he pulled out the gun, I was like, I had looked him dead in his eyes, and like all I saw was literally like darkness. Like, I'm not even kidding you. It was evil, and I just felt that through my whole body went numb, and I was like, is you taking my life over $800 worth going to prison for the rest of yours?
That's what you said.
I literally said that to him, and he started choking me. Like, he put his hands around my neck. That's when he grabbed my shirt, and he said, I know the money's in your fucking bra, just give it to me. And so he had like gripped my shirt, and he started pulling it, and I'm trying to like move. And so he ended up ripping my shirt apart. I felt like my life was endangered at that point, obviously, and I was not okay. And I was screaming and crying when he was choking me that second time. And Image's like, we gotta go, we gotta go. And so he like let go of my neck, and they started to like, Image opened the door and they started to sprint out of my apartment. They jumped into, one jumped in the back, one jumped in the driver's seat, I want to say, and then it was a white Cadillac, and I remembered the exact, like, the license plate number, the color, the make, the model, and so I was able to give the police that information, which ended up leading them to find them. I immediately called my roommate, and I asked her, like, what do I do? Because I walked in and I'm like, I can't find the money. And as I was on the phone with her, because I needed to like do something with like change or whatever, and the money fell out of the side of my brow, and I'm like, oh my god, like the money's still here.
So, you know, she's probably running in the drug game too, dude. So, I mean, to have $850 and you knew what they were there for, she's probably running in the drug game too, man. But you shouldn't be robbing people. I mean, that just shows the kind of character that Dante Wright ran with. You know what I mean? And he obviously, Nana said that he had a 17.5-inch thick rap sheet. So did he deserve to die? No, nobody deserves to die on a mistake like that. Like you said, he should have been serving justice. He should have been locked up and throwing away the key. When his family sues the estate for his death, there's already lawsuits pending from the victims of his that's going to get that money anyway. So this is like, this case is so, there's so much going on, so many moving pieces, bro. It's astounding.
Well, he probably shouldn't have been in jail, but a lot of these inner cities, they got this this no bail release for the criminals now. So it sounded like he had a lot of stuff that was still pending that he needed to face justice for, and they just had this dude out in the street. Like, clearly he should have been behind bars waiting around for all of these cases to be cleared up before they let him out.
Dude, I agree with you 100%. I could see having a catch and release system for like white collar crimes, you know, petty theft.
Yeah.
But dude, for something like this, it's like, really?
yeah, especially when they already got like hard evidence of you actually doing it. You know, because they call everything an alleged crime. Even if they see you do it, it's still considered an alleged crime until you actually get proven guilty in court.
Because you're innocent until proven guilty is the way the United States runs.
Yeah.
I'm going to put your link into your channel in the chat, bro, because you're fantastic. So
yeah, man. I appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
I appreciate you for having me on.
No, man, I appreciate you coming on. I know we talked about it the last time we were on
Joel's channel.
On Joel's channel, and we never got a chance to schedule it. And I don't think you got my email, but I said I was sending the email to your wrong email address.
Oh, no wonder. That's what happened.
Yeah, I clicked the link that says like email me here and prove you're not a bot. So that's where that went.
Oh, okay.
So,
but Dante, right, man. This is I mean, it's a sad situation, but it's funny how they always show the picture of him holding a little baby and stuff like that, like he was some kind of like innocent young boy who was doing nothing wrong, and you know, the white supremacist cop, you know, killed them for no reason.
Dude, and you know what? Officer Tatum did a story about that, how it's always they always show like the best picture. Like when they were showing the two white guys down in Georgia, they showed him as I forgot his name, but they showed him like, you know, in his
Ahmaud Arbery.
Oh yeah, Ahmaud Arbery. He's all suited up, looking good, and then he's like, then he shows somebody else, and then he shows him like in the streets, actual streets, and he's no t-shirt, sagging his pants.
The way that got the burner, the money out, and everything.
Dude, and then the way that Officer Tatum made it seem, dude, he had me laughing, bro, on how the media portrays this.
Right.
And then they showed the three white guys looking like they were bikers.
And you know what? I don't necessarily agree with like don't bring up the criminal past because I think it's very relevant. You know, I always think the criminal past is very relevant. It still don't justify what Officer Potter did though.
Oh no, not at all. Like I said, Officer Potter made a terrible, terrible, terrible mistake, and it was manslaughter. She didn't intend manslaughter. The definition of manslaughter is when you unintentionally kill somebody by mistake. It's basically a fallback for you not planning to kill somebody, an accident, and that's exactly what it was. It was an accident. She jacked up. She panicked, just like the truck driver in Colorado. Here in Colorado, he panicked. Like I said, I would have been okay with 15 years for both of these cases, for the truck driver and for Miss Potter. 15 years in prison. You would do 7.5 for the Colorado guy because we have a good time here. He would have been out in 7.5 or 5 years because he's already done 2.5 pre-trial. So
you know what the crazy thing is? I believe the one officer that I forget her name. She went into the wrong apartment building and then she shot the black dude who was in his own apartment eating ice cream. Right,
in Texas.
Right, and I think she only got like 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think she got that much time, and that was really negligent. Like you're a police officer, even in your own house,
off
you
duty.
Can't just right, even as a civilian, if you're in your own house, and somebody break in, you don't just start opening fire. You kind of like see if it may be a family member or what they're there for. I'll wait to see if they're going to attack me. You know what I mean? You don't just open fire like that. That was crazy, and I don't think she served that much time. I think the family was very forgiving and everything. I think the judge even went down there and gave the police officer a hug before the sentence and all of this stuff. So who knows? She's probably about to get out next year on good behavior.
Yeah, I think she is, and that was, dude, what she did was she just
Anna Rodriguez. Thanks for the subscription. I'm assuming she subscribed to me.
Yeah,
thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
No, dude, and I do remember when that happened, dude. The judge in that case was getting a lot of ridicule. How can you do that? What's going on? You know, it was a lot of fallback for that too, from the judge, but it's what happens, bro.
Well, sometimes the judges, you know, they don't really have.
She got 10 years.
Oh, she got 10 years. Oh, okay. She'll be out in 5. or she might be out in 2.5. That was really negligent. I really can't see how you can make a mistake like that one. Not that we got to relive that case, but I think it was some suspicious stuff where she like knew the guy and they might have had a little relationship or something going on. So I don't know.
She was drunk,
something like that. But yeah, I mean these police officers, you know, you're held to a standard, and you just can't make silly mistakes like that. Honestly, it's Potter. I believe it was a mistake, but it's really. She could have just been really pissed off at Dante Ray and was like, "I'm gonna just yell taser, taser," but I'm gonna really shoot him. Maybe she didn't expect for him to die, but I think it's an accident. I'm gonna say.
Well, she said that that after she,
because nobody
he was ready
taser,
to drive
taser,
off.
Taser.
Yeah, he was going to. The reason why she was going to tase him was he was driving off. He got back in the car to take off. That's why she was going to tase him.
Okay, yeah.
Because he was going to flee the scene. So she was going to tase him. And I think, like I said, she panicked. She had all the plate from having to do the training to the new cadet. And this was turning into a bad situation. So she panicked. And that's inexcusable. You have to maintain professionalism at all time during an arrest.
Right. Yeah, you got to be professional. That was completely a miscalculation, especially for a training officer. She's training somebody and she make a mistake like that while you're training people. Like I don't know. I mean, I don't think she should serve a life sentence or anything like that, but definitely she deserves some time. Just like you said, that truck driver. I understand the truck driving game as well, and even what he did was negligent because your truck,
panicked.
yeah, it was a panic on both ends because just like the truck driver, your brakes don't just go out. They start smoking and start showing you signs that they're not going to be operating correctly.
And
So
then he missed the runaway truck ramp because
right.
on steep grades they have those. He missed that. Like I said, he deserved to do some time. I agree that he should do some time, but 110 years on that is ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. I seen Pookie and Ray Ray literally go out and purposely shoot people and kill 2 or 3 people and don't even get 110 years. However, I think with the truck driving situation, they're probably factoring in that the amount of damage that was done. It was so much damage, and a bridge was damaged, an explosion on top of the 4 people who was killed. It was several other people severely injured.
Yep. And he what it is Colorado on a case like that, Colorado has a mandatory minimum and then on a case like that, you don't get concurrent, you get consecutive.
Right.
So it was 20 years, 20 years, 20 years, 20 years, plus the smaller charges on top of it, which added up to 110 years.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't even seen them kind of numbers since like the only other case I know is like a guy that got like charged for 160 years, and he was basically going out basically playing Grand Theft Auto in real life, where he was like snatching people out of their car and then getting back in their car and driving off and then crash the car, then get into a whole nother car and then do it again. And then I think he stole one car that had a baby in the back seat.
Oh,
and then
shit.
He almost like hit a police officer that was on foot trying to stop him. And then he had the cops on like at least a 30-minute highway speed chase. And then I think he wound up getting locked up, and then he was like on the phone laughing with his girlfriend, like, yeah, my YouTube video is getting like millions and millions of views, and I need some of the revenue from that. Nobody can't just make money off of what I did, because he had the helicopter and everything, and the video went like completely viral, and he was like laughing about it with his girlfriend on the phone, and the judge actually heard it, and then he got 160 years.
Yeah, but dude, on a case like that, bro, you kind of earned that. Like you didn't get that. You earned 160 years.
Yeah. That's probably the only other case where I know where I've never heard of anybody getting like over 100 years. Do you know anybody? Do you know any other cases where people literally got like more than 100 years? That's like I only know of 2, and this truck driving one is one of them.
It's life. It's usually life. They just say life, but to get like 100, like actually get a number instead of just life, that's usually unprecedented. Usually they'll just say, hey, it's life, but this thing this got a number.
I wanted to ask you a question about okay, Dante Wright got shot unjustifiably getting back into his car.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what is the difference between what happened with Jacob Blake, where the cop was justified?
Well, the difference between it, I think if Potter was intentionally, the keyword is intentionally, trying to use the most minimal amount of force necessary and end his shoot him for real, I honestly think this wouldn't have went out this way. I think that they would have dropped the charges. When it came to Jacob Blake, he was that was the minimal amount of force necessary. There was a lot of standards going behind it. Do you know what I mean? Like he was trying to take off with his baby mama kids. He was there on a not a no contact order.
Yeah, well, it was like a restraining order.
Yeah, a restraining. He was there on a restraining order
or something like that.
Sexual assault. There was a lot of mitigating circumstances that came out of Jacob Blake. Than this one. This one, like I said, and I think Potter would have been justified in killing, not killing, but using lethal force on this gentleman. She made the mistake by trying to use taser and grab the wrong weapon.
Yeah, because I figured a lot of people on the left would probably bring that up, like, what was the difference between Dante Wright and Jacob Blake, both getting in their car and then getting shot for getting in their car. Yeah, so I figured you would be a good person to clear that up.
Honestly, and I mean, I don't know if I make a lot of sense, but saying that, but I think her mistake was her defense was stupid.
Yeah.
and yell taser, 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 and then pull out the wrong dude. That shows negligence. If she would have pulled out her sidearm and ended and and used lethal force knowingly, I don't think this would have ever been a case. What do you think?
Yeah, to me it was weird for her to yell out taser, 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 and then shoot him with an actual firearm. I think that
Some law enforcement, you are required to yell taser, so everybody around you could get cleared. Because if I'm still
okay.
touching you, let's say I'm touching you and you get tased, there's a good possibility that I'm gonna get tased as well because the way the electricity runs.
But the thing is, if even if it is the law or their police rules to yell out taser, 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 I would think that would also make the police officer aware that you do have a taser in your hand. That's probably part of the reason why they want you to yell out taser, 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 so you can double check and check and check and check to see that it's a taser, taser, taser.
Yeah, dude. Like, and I was on. Before in my mind, I came to the conclusion that it was panic. In my mind, it's like, dude, you grab a taser. The taser's usually yellow with the black line on the butt, or like a big thick. You've seen a taser before?
Yeah.
And the sidearm is usually black. And like the way I used to carry my taser, my butt of my taser was facing out, and the butt of my gun for my sidearm was facing the opposite direction. Was facing towards the rear.
It's an awkward grab, and you put it on the opposite side from whatever arm you are. Yeah.
Because it's a reach that it's easier for me to grab the butt of the gun reaching sideways like this and then bringing it up. So like when I was sitting there thinking about this, I was like, she panicked. That's the only way that my brain could justify that she panicked. She didn't realize what she was doing and panic, which is then negligence.
Absolutely. She definitely deserved to suffer some consequence. It's going to be interesting to see what how long she actually is going to get. But yeah, clearly, definitely a mistake that a trained officer just should not be making. And however, I never excuse these criminals because it's like, yes, she was 100% wrong. A lot of times, the police, they could be 100% wrong, but I'm all about holding these criminals accountable for even putting herself in a position for a cop to make that kind of mistake.
I agree. I'm going to show this clip of the newest millionaire in Minnesota. Hold the line.
Relieved. They're going to bring back.
Courtney, tell me how do you feel after hearing the verdict?
I'm so happy that they came back and did the right thing. I'm relieved. They're going to bring back Dante, but they did the right thing.
Are you surprised at all, Courtney?
No. I knew it was going to be guilty, but it just feels so good to hear it live. Floyd's spirit was already telling me that it was going to come through guilty. So
Floyd's spirit told you that he was going to be guilty?
Absolutely. Now, was I getting nervous? Yes, I was, but he told me. I got to listen to him, you know.
Just so you know that is
his mother.
Nope, that's George Floyd's girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
The newest millionaire in Minneapolis.
George Floyd actually had family members coming out of the woodworks that was collecting some of that money.
Right?
Patrice Coolers, oh man, I think she made a couple of $1 million off of George Floyd death. She actually made more money than that white lady right there. Patrice Coolers off of George Floyd death.
Oh, really?
She cashed out. Oh yeah. I think just off of George Floyd death alone, BLM raised over $90 million just off of that one death. That's not including Michael Brown or none of the Trayvon Martin, none of that. Just off of George Floyd. Did you know that George Floyd actually had one of the most expensive funerals in the United States?
Well, he had basketball players, celebrities. I think Tupac might have even donated to it.
I think Tupac was there.
But yeah, dude, and to me, it's crazy, bro. That dude, it's all about life, bro. Because dude, and I like what Ranger Jason in the comments. I hate to see this for all parties, bro. This is not, dude. You got to think about this too. Not only, I don't know if Dante Wright had any children, but his kids are now without a dad, which he was probably gonna end up without a dad anyway because he's going to prison. Yeah. But I'm sure Kimberly Potter had a family that is now tore up inside because now her kids are gonna have to see her locked up in prison. This is a jacked up situation for everybody, and nobody's really thinking about the collateral damage that's going on with this in this situation.
And hold on, that was George Floyd's wife, right?
Yeah.
The funny thing is he got locked up with his girlfriend in the passenger side when he was attempting to arrest him. So it's funny because they probably wasn't even really together. They probably was married. They probably didn't even deal with each other no more. And so she cashing out on a dude that most likely, I don't know. She looked like she was all whacked out too, man. They probably had a on and off like drug type relationship, but hey, she cashed out on that.
Dude, Floyd, bro, I didn't realize Floyd loved them bunnies either, though, man.
Oh yeah, you know what? The funny thing is, a lot of people don't know that George Floyd actually was actually a porn star.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That is something I did not know about.
Oh yeah. You can find George Floyd if anybody care to do so on Pornhub.
I'm good. That would be kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's funny. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. And I don't know if you know, I live in Jersey, but in North Jersey in Newark, they actually built the statue of our Lord and Savior, Saint George Floyd.
Saint George Floyd, bro. That dude is more. That dude's more famous than Jesus himself, bro. Worldwide, they're gonna have Floyd everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and not only that, Floyd death been so political. I mean, you remember Nancy Pelosi. Thank you for dying for us, George Floyd. He literally died so the Democratic Party could win the election.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They capitalized the hell off of his death.
Those Democrats utilized George Floyd, bro. They used him worse than they used freaking Bill Clinton, dude.
Oh yeah. He's definitely a talking point. And they've really used him to say, see, the country is racist, it's white supremacist, and vote for us, and we're gonna stop police brutality. We're gonna basically defund the police and take away your right to bear arms, but we're gonna legalize marijuana.
That's Colorado for you, baby.
Yeah, like the left-wing ideology, it makes no sense in actual reality.
Not at all. Not at all, dude. And you know what's funny is my wife was a Democrat, bro, and now she got off the Democratic teat, bro, and realized that this is what they're doing is wrong, bro. Politicizing race, dude. I mean, come on. I mean, dude, you can't change that you're black as much as I can't change I'm a Latino, dude. We don't choose that. It's actually something that you're born with.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, though, bro, I might be able to, and you might be able to, bro. We might get the Michael Jackson method. You know what I mean? Get all cleaned up, bro. I'll be trans white.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, now you could identify as whatever you want to identify as. I mean, I want to identify as a PlayStation 5.
Oh shit, dude! You got the joystick already.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could identify whatever you want. I mean, but I don't think we got that far left yet. Because I think people still have a problem with I forget that white lady name that was like claiming to be black, and she was like the head of she was like the head of the NAAC something or something like that. Like it's completely crazy. Like, but that's the one thing you can't do. You can't like change your race yet. You can change your gender, which honestly, I think people that change their race is actually more sane than people that actually change their gender. You know,
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, because what's her name? The Pocahontas.
She's native, dude.
Yeah, she's native Indian, and I think that was like culture appropriation. So you could identify as a male, and you're a woman, or a woman that's a male, or whatever like that. But you just can't. We're not there yet where you could actually identify as a different race.
Do you remember when Pocahontas had a had a huge press conference for her being like 1/1000th of a Native American?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Elizabeth Warren. I mean, we all have probably some Indian in us if we get some kind of, blood test or however they do it.
Backyard Politics says she was 1/1024th Native American.
That's crazy.
Dude, that just shows the insanity that is the left, bro. They politicize everything. And right now, they're with what they're doing in New York with Trump's taxes, they're already afraid of Trump. They know that they already have a feeling that he's running in 2024, so they're already trying to get ahead of that curve with COVID. I'm sure they're gonna find another martyr to go right along with we're gonna be praying to Saint Floyd, Saint Blake soon, and there'll be another one for them to have in 2024, because that's the only way that they could win. They don't win off of what they can. They don't win off their politics or their policies. They win off of sympathetic votes and or the machines, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, and they went off of their actually the god of the Democratic Party is George Soros, who, when things don't go the Democratic way, he funds Antifa and BLM to go out and tear the country up.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, bro. This is a legitimate question. So you being a black man in America, and all that money that BLM has raised for Black Lives, have you gotten your check yet?
I never got anything from BLM besides disrespect, where I don't agree with Black Lives Matter, because Black Lives Matter is actually a Marxist, racist, terrorist organization. Black Lives Matter is anti-black. Black Lives Matter is anti-white. Black Lives Matter is anti-America.
They're pro-greenbacks.
Black Lives Matter is pro-abortion, which is in support of Black death. And Black Lives Matter wants to disrupt the nuclear family and destroy the Black household. Black Lives Matter doesn't stand for one thing positive. I can't think of one thing good about Black Lives Matter.
The name.
Yeah, maybe the name.
Well, the name. Dude, but so one of the things that Backyard Politics mentioned in the comments, that the January 6th hearings are to charge Trump with crime so he can't run in 2024. They're, like I said, they're trying to get ahead of the game. What are your thoughts on the January 6th hearing?
January 6th hearing is completely ridiculous. I don't understand why we're still talking about January 6th. Why is this still a thing? Why they're not going after none of the BLM or Antifa rioters who literally tried to overthrow the government, where they actually took over cities and had police officers stand down? I don't understand why we're going after these so-called white supremacist Klan members. One of the ladies is like 80 years old that was at the Capitol Hill, and they're going after her, trying to put her in prison for 20 years. I don't get it. I don't get how Trump was even charged for a so-called incite an insurrection. Go peacefully, patriotically protest. What part of that is violent? It makes no sense.
It really doesn't, bro. And as somebody that knows people that were there, that place didn't get rowdy until after they started chemically gassing our own people. When they started using the gas on the American people, dude, that's when it started getting rowdy. That's when the people started getting pissed off. That's when I think that was the signal to Antifa to go and start causing destruction. Is when they started gassing them. They're like, that was the go. Start breaking windows, start causing destruction. Because if anybody that was there and actually listened to Trump's speech, they all know that Trump never said to go destroy, to go break it, to go threaten Nancy Pelosi's life, dude. Nobody said that.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Maxine Waters is in a position of power, and she actually incites violence all the time, especially during the Derek Chauvin trial. She said if they don't get their way, they're going to tear up the country.
Bro, I have a feeling, dude, that Chauvin's going to walk on a pill.
I mean, think about it. I mean, one of the members that was actually part of the jury he had like a podcast, and he was like a BLM guy.
Yeah.
It was so, I don't understand if they did that purposely, or maybe they was just so afraid to, to let him off because the country would get burnt down. But it was definitely enough evidence there for it to be a mistrial, period. It should have been a mistrial.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. And I'm just glad that
one more thing about that I want to say.
Go ahead.
I don't understand. The autopsy was proven that George Floyd overdosed. I'm not saying Derek Chauvin had nothing to do or didn't contribute to his death, because I think Derek Chauvin was an idiot. However,
yes.
George Floyd, drug dealer that sold him the drugs that he OD'd on, was in a passenger seat. Why isn't the drug dealer and Derek Chauvin on trial for murder?
Bro, you better, dude. You might be careful talking like that, bro. You know that the Clintons are listening.
Yes, ridiculous.
No, I thought the same thing, bro. Like, and trust me, bro, I'm one of those people that when I first saw that video, the edited version of the video, not the full video, dude, it looked terrible. When George Floyd died, bro, and the first video that came out that was heavily edited, dude, it looked awful, bro. And I was one of the stupid ass people, and I admit it, America, I fuck up too. I was like, oh man, this is bad. This is terrible. This cop deserves, dude. And then I was like, you know what? I just need to shut my mouth, and I need to do my own research. So I started doing my own research, and then more and more information started rolling in. And then I'm like, damn, this dude overdosed on drugs. He was trying to pass a $20 bill off. This dude had a history of violence. This dude, it was not a good person. But the fact is, dude, I think that Derek Chauvin, because of all the cameras, all the attention that was going on at that time with all the people surrounding him, I think he froze.
Yeah.
He froze. He didn't know what the fuck to do.
It was another careless mistake. And even if he wasn't technically the cause of George Floyd death, the optics look like he was.
Yeah. And I don't think he even had his knee.
Yeah, I think it was on his upper back.
Yeah, the way that they showed it, though, dude, there was no way, bro. And even if he did have it in the general area of the neck, it was a proper police hold that was in their books.
Yeah.
So how are you going to sit there and convict somebody when it was the policy of the government that authorized that?
Right. I see Backyard Politics that if he just would have got in the back car, he still would have been alive, which I agree with. I believe that even if just because you OD, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to die. But I think Derek Chauvin having his knee on his upper back, that basically caused George Floyd to go into a true panic attack. And between ODing and the knee on the upper back, I guess the brother just couldn't handle it, and he wound up passing away.
You know, that again, that's a bad situation for everybody.
Yeah.
But
you know what? It's so funny because a lot of these cases are so political. Like I said, it's so political that the drug dealer was not held to any type of responsibility over George Floyd. It's so political that even when you think of Kyle Rittenhouse, the guy that pulled the gun out on him that had a criminal record wasn't held accountable. It's all political. All of these cases that we're hearing about is so political now. They don't even care about the law. They just care about politics.
You're not talking about Fallon Graskowitz, are you? The great Fallon? Bro, if that would have been me and you, let's say you were a felon, That would have been me and you, and both of us had guns, and we're both felons, and we got pulled over for driving, bro. We're both going to federal prison for violation of the federal Handgun Act.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said,
Felon in possession.
Right, and it's just in that case, it's so crazy. It's so crazy that no charges was done. Maybe they figured, you know what, this guy suffered enough from having his bicep completely blown off.
Dude, that Kyle Rittenhouse, dude, his aim, his composure, the way that he handled himself, because he could have easily ended Graskowitz's life.
Yeah,
easily
yeah.
could have ended his life, and he didn't.
You know what? Luckily he didn't, because that guy actually helped him out in his trial by when he testified. It was Kyle Rittenhouse is a genius for keeping that guy alive. But it's crazy. Kyle Rittenhouse is actually making a career out of all of this now, which is awesome for him.
Right? And he did nothing wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
He's become a conservative hero.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a symbol for the conservative party. I won't be surprised if he give a little speech when Trump start going around touring again.
Dude, I would love to see that. And Trump's on tour, bro, but his tickets to go see him right now are expensive.
Oh yeah.
I was like, Bill O'Reilly, I'm not going to spend $750 to go look at y'all.
No.
I'll wait for the free stuff around this time next year. I'll be right there.
I think $700 is that for front row seats where you actually get to shake some hands?
No, that's the lowest cost. That's the cheap ticket. That's up in the 300s in Pepsi Center, bro.
Yeah. I seen Bill O'Reilly on Fox News the other day. He said they was making a tremendous amount of money off of touring. I was part of it.
Well, Trump needs to make that money, bro, because he's about to launch TMTG next month.
Oh yeah. Hey, Trump didn't officially announce it yet, but he's running for president. You agree with that? He's running again.
I think Trump's ego is so big, and he knows what happened. I don't see him not running, because I think his ego is going to get the best part of him, dude. And when he kicks old boy's ass in 2024, the world is going to see it.
When he beat him for a third time, right? He's going to beat the Democratic Party 3 times at that point.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that day.
Oh yeah, most def. I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
I'm gonna be sitting there, dude, kicking back, drinking. I'm even gonna get me like some Gentleman Jack, bro, that expensive Jack Daniels, dude, and sit there on election night, man. Watching the results come in. How about you?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good time, man. I remember celebrating when he won back in 2016. That was like amazing. I actually made like $200 off of that bet. Somebody betted that Hillary Clinton would win, and I was like, nah, $200 say Trump gonna win. I actually won that money.
Did they pay up?
Oh yeah. Luckily, I didn't bet on this the previous one though. I didn't. It's just no way. There's no way Trump raised his base in every category and still lost. And there's no way that Joe Biden got more votes than Barack Hussein Obama. I just don't. That's just doubtful.
Are you trying to tell me that Joe? Dude, anybody, dude, and I tell that to when I talk to liberals, I ask them, dude, I was like, you want me to honestly believe that Joe Biden got more votes than the first black president, when you know all the brothers and sisters were coming out from all walks of life to vote for Barack Obama?
Oh yeah, I mean, think about it. I was ignorant and I voted for Barack just because he was black. I wasn't really into politics back then, but hey, I just was like, oh, the other guy here is racist.
Bro, you had white people going to vote for Barack Obama so they wouldn't be racist.
Oh yeah. Well, and now it's like, if you don't vote for Joe, you ain't black. So it's still basically pushing the dumbness on ignorant people. If you don't really pay attention to politics, and I know what it's like to be there, you're just going to think the Democratic Party are the good guys. And historically, the Democratic Party was always evil.
Yeah, dude, and you're right. Think about this, bro. Back in 2016? Well, I think the Democrats learned from the 2000 election. I think because I think the honestly, I think the conservatives cheated in 2000. I think Al Gore beat George W. Bush, and everybody knows that Gore beat Bush. I don't know what, dude. There's a great movie on it. I'll talk to you about that offline. But go watch it, dude, and it shows, dude, the criminalness that happened in 2000 to them. So I think that they took that, though, what they learned in 2000 and used it for the last 2016.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a lot of eyes on this upcoming election. I mean, we got midterms coming up, and I believe that the Republican Party is going to take back the House and the Senate because the Democratic Party right now, they don't have a leg to stand on. Everything they do is failing, period, especially at the border.
So let me ask you a very important question, bro. If President Trump chooses Candace Owens to be his VP, me and you and probably backyard politics, we're going to have to fly out to the VP debate, and we're going to have to get front row with popcorn and watch Candace Owens destroy Kamala Harris. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm just visualizing that in my head. I don't think he would choose her as a VP.
But if he did, wouldn't you want to watch just for the debate?
Oh yeah, that would be. Oh man, I don't even know what Kamala Harris would be destroyed. She has nothing to run off of but her laugh.
Well, I mean, she's started it, bro. Remember we were talking just about a half hour ago. We were talking about trans race.
Yeah.
Well, isn't Kamala Harris trans black? Because I mean, she was Indian.
She is a chameleon. She is whatever she wants to be. You know, she's whatever could put her in a position of power. That's what she's going to do. She's literally the definition of a sellout. And I don't mean sellout to an extent like a race hustler means sellout. I mean to the point where she will sell out her private areas to the right guy that could put her in a position of power. I mean, you know her history with Willie Brown.
Oh, dude, Willie Brown was beating those guts in.
But she's like exactly what Cardi B, Nicki Minaj all inspire young girls to be, because Kamala Harris literally slept her way to the top.
To the middle.
Well, yeah.
Not president yet.
Yeah, not president yet, but she definitely did a lot of different things to get to where she is. You know, just look at her dating history.
Oh, dude, I looked at Kamala Harris, bro, and with Willie Brown. She also she hires actors to act like they're child actors to be in her space videos. I'm sure you've seen that one. Those are all paid child actors.
Absolutely. I mean, you ain't wrong. What's up? You ain't wrong. He said Montel Williams was up in that too. And that was one of her stepping stones to get to where she's at now. She probably been planning this out for decades, man.
Bald head at Montel Williams?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she got a history,
host Montel Williams was beating those in.
You already know it. She did whatever she needed to do to get where she's at, and she'll say, and she doesn't even have to really prove anything. She could just laugh, and I just don't know. I guess they figure she's a sellout to the Democratic Party, so they could use her as a tool, just put her in a position of power, and we could basically run her the same way the Democratic Party is running Joe Biden every time they recharge his battery.
Bro, she's worse off. She's worse off than Biden with her approval rating. They're worse in the tank than the sniffer himself.
Oh yeah, if you remember Kamala Harris in the primaries, I don't even think she got even 1% of the.
She was one of the first to drop primaries.
Out. Yeah, she did completely horrible.
I think Spartacus lasted longer than her.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and none of it make any sense,
bro. No, I agree with you, bro. This election, the 2016 election from the primaries, was insane. I mean, think about this. Hillary Clinton in 2012 or 2016, she paid off the party for her to be the top of the ticket because Bernie Sanders was spanking that ass. Bernie Sanders was coming for her, and she had paid off all the debt that Obama put the Democratic Party in duress. She paid off all that money through the Clinton Foundation, and her thing was, I want to run for president. You either put me in or I'm not paying your debt. So she paid for her way to be the presidential nominee in 2016.
Poor Bernie. Bernie got cheated twice. He won twice, and they just cheated him. How many times have Bernie Sanders ran for president? Is this like his?
I think this is his third.
He's like 95 years old or something like that. I think this is like his 5th or 6th time running.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy when you look at the politics that we're in right now. This ain't our granddaddy's politics. Like, these people are criminals. I mean, you got the Clintons murdering people in a prison cell.
Yeah.
You got Obama married to a man, and then you got the sniffer molesting little kids, talking about how he loves them rubbing his legs.
Oh yeah.
And then blame Trump.
That's the first time he learned about roaches too. You know, when he dealt with black kids.
Oh snap! Oh, do you remember when he was running with Barack Hussein Obama, and he said he was talking about how he was going to break the chains off of the black community, and then somebody heckled him, and he goes, "Not you though. I'm going to keep you in chains."
Yeah, I mean, he's like, you know what? The funny thing about Joe Biden is YouTube. I don't know how they control YouTube. You know that is a left wing network in a way, and a lot of stuff that was on there you can't even find about Joe Biden on YouTube. Like when you look up like all of the videos of him sniffing little girls' hair and stuff like that, you can't even find that kind of stuff on YouTube. Or him historically repeatedly saying the N-word over and over and over again in different situations. You can't find any of that on the internet. Like they're literally doing stuff to make sure that Joe Biden looks like a squeaky clean guy.
He is, bro. They sat there and called Trump a racist. Bro, this dude, Joe Biden, is probably the most racist man I have ever seen running politics, next to the guy that he gave the eulogy for in the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, yeah, he spoke at the Grand Wizard funeral, and yes, Joe Biden is historically a racist. He definitely looks down on black people and feel that black people are uneducated as well. It was weird that he was actually the VP of Barack Hussein Obama. None of it make any sense. Yeah, Joe Biden is definitely a racist. When it comes to who's more racist out of Donald Trump or Joe Biden clearly is.
Well, you got President Trump winning awards for donating to the black community. The Ellis Island Award. He's always given money.
Oh yeah, he gave so much money to historic black colleges. Oh yeah.
But he's the worst racist, bro. You know that the new Grand Wizard, the KKK, probably is gonna take his white hood, bro. Trump, he's that racist.
Oh yeah, he's a true white supremacist Klanman, right? It's so funny. They got a picture of Trump with his mother and his father dressed in a Klan outfit, and that was Photoshop. But people on the left are so ignorant; they think that it's real.
Dude, think about this, bro. President Trump took a picture with Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks, and it's a real photo of him, Rosa Parks, Al Sharpton, all at a banquet, bro. He's so racist, bro. He took a picture with a great black human being who helped start the civil rights in America. That's how racist Trump is.
Well, you know what? That's a good point that you bring up, because I always say this. The media actually controls black culture. The media tells black people what you should and shouldn't be upset about. If you remember, black people and all the rappers and everybody wanted to be just like Donald Trump. They made songs about wanting to be like Donald Trump. Everybody wanted to go to all his ball gatherings and invite him to weddings and everything. Like everybody goal was to be the next Donald Trump. But then as soon as he ran for president, the white liberal media told black people, no, y'all no longer allowed to love Donald Trump. Y'all got to hate him.
Oh yeah. And then they were taking his words out of context, talking about, and he's right when he talks about that Mexico and all these southern countries bringing in their worst of the worst, bro. He's not lying. He's not lying. You see it every day that there's a bunch of bad people coming across this border, and he wasn't lying, dude. You telling me all the millionaires in Mexico? You think they're trying to get to the United States? No.
Yeah, it's the worst people that you could think of. I mean, the fact that we have no real border protection is completely ridiculous. It actually cost Joe Biden more money to stop the wall that was already being built prior to him being elected as president. He actually did America a disservice and cost way more money than just continuing to build the damn wall.
Because you got to think, I mean, in the big scheme of things, when you say that, are you talking about all the unemployment benefits that that the government had to pay out to those contractors?
Oh, absolutely.
Because nobody talks about that. Nobody, dude. I have a really good friend named Chico's Tacos, who's on the show that I run the Conservative Chicanos with. He's from New Mexico, and when they closed the board, closed drilling on federal funded lands, dude, that put so much New Mexicans out of work because a lot of the drilling that goes on there is on federal land.
Man, it does nothing but affect everybody in a negative way. I mean, I don't think people realize it, but you know, and a lot of these Democratic people that's like in favor of the open borders, you know, they live in their gated communities, but you know, when as soon as the violent get close to them, then they want to do something. Then they want to stop the violence. You know, the border crisis affects the whole country. These Democratic rich people, they're delusional when they believe that open borders actually affect them in a negative way as well.
It really does, but nobody wants to speak on the open borders. If you go down to where a bunch of like at the border, those border towns, they're not happy, bro. You see farmers when they were doing an interview with the farmer down in Texas, and the border was running through his backyard. And he was saying that he ended up funding it himself, but he said that he would see little kids drop dead from dehydration on his property. He would see people shot and killed on his property. He would see people running across the border onto his property. And what are those people supposed to do?
Well, it's all about getting reelected. The Democratic Party care more about staying in power than they actually care about protecting the country or protecting the borders. I believe that if the Democratic Party could pack the courts, that means they could basically control everything. And then they will close the border when they no longer need illegal immigrants to keep getting them reelected. When they no longer need illegal immigrants, that's when they'll close the border. But right now, they need them because they know they don't stand for anything positive that the American people really want. So that's why their goal is to pack the courts so they can close that border down. That's my conspiracy and what I believe.
Dude, you need to talk to my wife, bro. My wife says some of the same things. Dude, I mean, because think about this, okay? In 2008 to 2012, 2008 and 2012, what voters did the Democratic Party need?
I mean, they need the black vote for sure, and they need they need illegal immigrant vote. They need dead people votes.
Yeah, that's why that's where I was going to get to, bro. In 2008 and 2012, they needed black people votes. In 2016, they needed our votes, and we voted for. I mean, we have all these Cubans that actually lived under in Cuba that know all about living under a communist regime.
Oh yeah.
Dude, they were like, what the hell is wrong with you guys?
Well, the Democratic Party policies are failing so bad. I don't know if you remember the story like last year where they actually sent a ballot to somebody kitty cat. So they need cats and dogs to help them get in office. They need dead people to help them get in office. That's how weak their policies are.
Bro, do you want to hear something crazy? And I did a video on this on YouTube. My sister, who's a registered Democrat, 2 ballots. My nephew, her son, who just turned 18, registered Democrat, 2 ballots.
Wow.
My mom and dad, 2 ballots.
Yeah, they're doing everything possible. And it's a shame because, like I said before, Democratic ideology, it actually doesn't work in reality. Why do you think that everybody want to move to where the straight white Christian conservative people live? They want to move to red states. Nobody really wants to stay in the blue states. Look at California, for example. The voters, they're voting for all of this progressive stuff, free this and free that, and less pro-criminal laws and anti-police laws. And then when that stuff take effect, they want to go to the great state of Texas,
Arizona, Colorado.
Oh yeah, the Democrat that they know that. I don't understand how they can't see that the voters literally vote for stupid, dumb policies that they don't even like, and then they want to move to where the conservative people live to change the policies there.
Bro, I'm gonna give you some homework. Do me a favor. Google search when you have time, Rocky Mountain heist.
Okay.
It's what the Democrats. I put backyard politics on this. I put hood conservative onto this. What they did to Colorado, my state, was a testing ground on how to turn a concern. Because in the 90s, bro, Colorado was red like your backdrop back there.
Oh yeah.
And they found a way to dump millions and millions and millions of dollars into local races and start flooding in people from California into Colorado, people from Louisiana into Colorado, and they turned it as blue as my backdrop.
Wow, that's insane.
And it's a great documentary. You can find it for free, I think, on Vimeo, Vimeo or something like that. You can watch it, dude. It will blow your mind because what they did in Colorado, they're doing to Texas. They've already almost just about done to Arizona.
They won't let a documentary like that stay on YouTube, will they?
Nope, you have to find it on another platform. And if I find it, I'll email you.
Oh yeah.
Backyard Politics just found it not that long ago. So, dude, you'll freak out. It's about 30 to 45 minutes long, dude, and you'll sit there and be like, God dang. And do you know who the center of it all? Our current governor, Jared Polis.
Yeah, man. The Democratic Party is literally the party of treason.
Oh yeah, dude. Have you heard this saying that the party's flipped?
Yeah, I heard that.
Do you believe it?
No. Historically, no. The Republican Party was actually started because they wouldn't allow the blacks to be a part of the Democratic Party. So conservative white people and black people actually formed the Republican Party together.
Yeah, and that's where you get a lot of these, a lot of our policies, dude. And people said that no, the party's flipped. I'm like, bro, the President Johnson said that he was going to have all these ends voting Democrat for the next 100 years.
Oh yeah,
and it just shows just how evil these people are.
Yeah, the Republican conservative way is actually the American dream. It's all about capitalism. Nobody really want to live in a super progressive country where they're pushing communism and socialism. Anything you say is considered hate speech that the left don't agree with. Just acknowledging that a man is actually a man and a man can't have babies. That's considered hate speech.
Did you see that video I just did?
No, I was gonna check it out though.
Oh, dude, you don't want to do, bro. Dude, this girl who's now a trans man gives birth to a baby boy, and then she gets mad at the hospital staff because they call her, him, whatever, mom. Here you go, mom. It's like, bro, these people that probably been doing this for about 40, 50 years, 30 years, and she still has the crevice that every man enjoys.
Mm-hmm.
She still has her ovaries. She still has
Yeah.
she's still having sex through that opening.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you have a mustache and you got your boob. I've seen flat-chested women, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, here's the thing, and I think I said it last time when you was on with Joel. There's really no such thing as a trans person anyway, because nobody actually ever transformed successfully from a man to a woman or a woman to a man.
Yeah,
So
she
so
will never have a
trans
white
really
chromosome.
doesn't exactly. It's just a bunch of delusional people, and I'm not going along with it because I don't people are not transformers. You can't transform to anything. You're a man and that's it, and you're a woman and that's it. There's nothing else. I mean, and unless you're like a hermaphrodite or something, then we could argue maybe you could pick sides then, but how often is somebody really born as a hermaphrodite?
Bro, but that's only less than 0.5% of people are born with hermaphrodite.
Right, exactly.
And they still have one of the other chromosomes. And they either produce more estrogen or more testosterone. There is a dominant gender in that body.
Exactly.
It's crazy, dude. I'm sitting there, dude. I'm doing this. Okay, I'm filming this video. Oh, and I put the link to the chat to the Rocky Mountain heist. I'm sitting there and I'm watching and I'm checking this out, and I'm sitting there like, what am I reading? So I turn on the camera, bro, and I'm just going off on this, and it got monetized. Thank you, YouTube. It was crazy, and it's like, how are you going to be upset over somebody telling you that you're a woman? You are. There's flat-chested women. You still have a vagina. You still have two X's, two X chromosomes. Your DNA still said you don't change your DNA, so you're still a female.
Well, everything's super political at this point. I mean, they choose politics over logic, and sex, unfortunately, became political. I mean, just for stating facts, that's considered hate speech, and you'll get YouTube will strike you or something like that. Even if you actually say, for example, like if you say what CDC is recommending for the whole like C stuff that's going on,
the 19,
even they will basically, strike you and say, oh, you're spreading hate speech.
But you're not, though. You're speaking science. It's not hard to. It's legitimately not hard to grasp science. I mean, everybody's followed the science when it comes to the 19. Everybody's followed the science when it comes to just about everything else. Or global warming. Follow the science, even though it was global cooling 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So, like, if we're going to follow the science, let's talk chromosomes. But you talk about chromosome, that's hate speech. You talk about that a biological man born with a Y chromosome doesn't have a uterus to hold a baby, that's hate speech. I am not pushing a fucking baby out of my ass. It's not happening, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be something else, wouldn't it?
It'll come out all brown and shit.
Yeah, it'll be pretty bloody.
All parties.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. We say what we want on my channel.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, dude. But that's the thing. Can you? Let me ask you a real question. Okay, let's say I don't know. Are you married?
No.
Okay, let's say you go to the bar, right?
Yeah.
Or you go to one of these radical churches, and you see an individual that is decent looking, and you find out that it's a man. You're going to be pissed off, aren't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm guessing that you yourself, like myself, would never date a trans woman.
No. Anything that starts with a T. Never.
No, I'm being legitimate, dude. And shouldn't you have the right to choose what you're attracted to?
Oh, absolutely. But you're misogynist, if you don't want that, right?
You shouldn't be considered a misogynist because I'm attracted to a certain kind of woman. You're attracted to a certain kind of woman.
Right.
The women in this chat are attracted to a certain kind of man. And if we don't like a certain kind of outside of what we enjoy, then why are we going to be criticized for that? If I don't like a woman with the small butt, am I a butt? Am I hate speeding against flat-butted women? I'm being serious here.
Yeah, I mean, you could choose to like whatever you want to like, and you shouldn't be criticized for that. Who you like shouldn't be political.
I agree, and for some reason, the left is about politicizing. Like you said it, I think 3 or 4 times. The left is about politicizing anything they can. Sooner or later, bro. Next time if I ever end up single again, which I hope I never do.
Yeah.
Bro, like, how are you going? I have a certain taste of women, and I'm going to go for that type of women.
Period.
And should I be mad at a woman that says I don't like short, chubby Mexicans with white beards? No. I might use a leftist trick. Like if I see like, let's say Anna Kendrick in public, and I ask her out, and she tells me no, I'm gonna be like, dude, you're white beard racist.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, it literally like go off of like back to even like the fat shaming thing with people like Lizzo, where women are like, oh, you gotta love all my curves and stuff like that, and if you don't, you're not a real man. And it's like, not all guys want some big, chubby, curvy woman. I know some guys do like that, but just because we don't want it, it doesn't make us a misogynist.
No, dude.
But it's fat shaming, you know,
bro. If I came home and let's say I was dating Lizzo and she had a freaking quart of freaking Ben and Jerry's in her lap, I'm not going to be a happy person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fat shaming is another thing that's like a new political thing as well.
Joker, it's not me that's making this show great, bro. I have a great guest tonight. He's fantastic. If you haven't subscribed to Savage 5050, and I made you a logo. I don't know if you've seen it in the thumbnail. Go subscribe to him. He's fantastic. His show is fantastic. He hits on hot topics. He's very smart and a very smart individual, and he's on Greg Kelly's level, which is my other brother. I love that dude.
Yeah, yeah, man. I appreciate that. That definitely. Thanks for that shout out.
No, man, I do, and we've been trying to plan this for I think almost 2 months.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have your channel. I don't think you got my email. Now we have each other's email, so I don't have a problem.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, dude, and but please, guys, subscribe to Savage 5050. I will send the link in the chat again because this brother is smart. He knows what he's talking about. His topics are fantastic. You guys know I don't bring out weak guests.
Yeah. So definitely, man. Ranger J. Yeah, Savage 5050. That's the YouTube channel.
And I'll put it into the chat again. So what are your thoughts? So I know the Greg Kelly is working on a very hot topic, and he's gonna do the origins of the N-word, bro. And like like he told me about that, and I was like, bro, that could change the world. Because and the reason why I'm saying that, bro, is I used to work in a facility with youth, right?
Right.
And one of the biggest culture shocks to me when I walked into those doors, bro, was seeing white and brown kids dropping that word and seeing young black folks like just going along with it. And to me, it was a culture shock because I never once thought that's okay. That word to me is not okay anyway. Because it means, for one, it means ignorant. Mm-hmm. And I don't think there's very many ignorant people out there.
Well, for me, my view on the N-word, which every person so-called of color, right? Well, I would say every black person is entitled to how they feel about that word. For me, it's not necessarily a forbidden word for white people to use. for me is more so if you are basically explaining something or asking something out of curiosity, I'm fine with you actually saying the word, like what does NWA stand for? And then they tell me like it stands for blah 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 with an attitude. Like that's not offensive, depending on what the context is. Now, if you're calling a group of black folks the N-word or you're calling me a N-word directly, then absolutely it's completely wrong.
So like let's say again, I would never do this, but let's say I came to visit, like, what's up? Would you have a problem with that? Or what's up,
No,
mine?
I mean,
come on, what I'm saying is, like, if we've been friends for like, let's say 3 years or something like that, we talk on the phone.
I would say if you was white.
I'm not white though.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But think about it. When you think about it, it's so stupid because even me just saying that, how I feel about it, it's kind of idiotic when you really think about it. But
I
yeah,
ask tough questions on this show, bro. I ask the tough questions.
Yeah. Like I literally have no problem with a white person actually saying the word, and it just depends on the context of, if they're literally explaining something, or quoting, if they're quoting what someone else said and they're telling you because they want to be direct with you, then I don't necessarily have a issue with that.
Kind of like
I seen right, absolutely. I seen white attorneys use that word, but they was quoting what someone else said directly. And based off of that, for me, I don't have a problem with it.
Because the reason why I'm bringing that up is I want to talk a little bit about Juicy Smollett. When he was on that stand and the prosecutor was quoting his text, he got a little salty over that, didn't he?
Oh yeah. Even though they kept his trial private, which they shouldn't have, because it would have been hilarious to actually see it go live. But yeah, I don't know, man. Juicy Smollett, I wonder what his actual consequence is going to be at the end of the day.
Do you think he'll get prison?
I think that he'll be found guilty, which he was, and it'll be like time served.
He didn't do no time though.
I know. I don't think he's going to do any time.
So do you think Kimberly Fox should do time? Should she be prosecuted?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you. Ranger J says that Juicy will be very popular in prison.
Yeah, he will be. I mean, maybe, it's Chicago, right?
Yep.
What would be hilarious is, R. Kelly's locked up in Chicago. If they could be cellmates.
Oh, dude, they would come out with some hot music though, man.
Oh yeah, Juicy's a singer too.
Yeah, dude, between those, bro, you got to remember, bro. R. Kelly wrote 12 Play. Oh, you were probably conceived to 12 Play.
R. Kelly's legendary.
Dude, and I get a lot of crap, bro, because I still listen to like R. Kelly, dude, and I tell people this: I am a smart enough individual where I could separate the man from the art.
Oh yeah,
bro. Because, dude, trust me, bro. A lot of my kids were probably conceived off some 12 Play, bro. R. Kelly's 12 Play was a top to bottom fantastic album.
Yeah. Separate, the art from the actual person. I mean, come on. Are we going to throw all of our Death Row records away? You know what I mean?
Oh, heck no, man. I don't listen to. I'm just joking. I don't even listen. Are you going to throw away your Ozzy albums for him biting off a bat's head? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's definitely maturity level with this separated. It's not that serious.
Regular, I can't pronounce that loud. Degula says Juicy Cows, the Not Guilty album.
Yeah, the Not Guilty album. Juicy Cows. That's hilarious.
Dude, but I like that's, and I hate when people do that, bro. We're gonna cancel this person. can't you separate the person from the art? I mean, can you imagine if there was Twitter back in Leonardo da Vinci's days?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Did you speaking of the N word? Did you hear about that judge in Louisiana?
Yeah.
The white lady who was watching a video of her house being previously like burglarized. Apparently, it was a black guy trying to break into her car, and I guess her kids and his friend went out there and held the guy down until the police came. And then she said they was like laughing about it later, like I guess like it already happened prior, and then I guess over the holiday they was reliving it and looking at it. And she was in a privacy of her own home, and she said, "Yeah, the N word, he's a roach or something like that." And I get it. Based off of what I said, how I feel about the N word, of course she didn't use it correctly to my standard, but I really don't have an issue with the way she said it because she's off duty. She doesn't realize she's being recorded. And the guy was literally acting like an N-word, burglarizing a car outside of her home. I don't think now we could reevaluate all her cases and everything that she previously did. But if she's judging fairly based off of what she said on her private time inside of her house, I don't believe that she should resign. I was wondering what your view was on that.
That takes me back to another case, bro. You know how these stack on each other? Do you remember when Hulk Hogan was having an affair with somebody's wife, and she was asking him questions about whether he wanted his daughter or who he wanted his daughter to marry and stuff like that, and he used that word. And honestly, bro, there's consequences to being stupid. Okay, he shouldn't go to jail for it, and I don't think she should go to jail. I don't think there should be any consequences for something you say in your own home or in your own bed, bro. Because how many times have you probably been when somebody has pissed you off and you're like, those god dang crackers? You know what I mean?
well, black people have freedom of speech. White people don't.
Oh, heck no. We don't. Latinos don't either.
Yeah, black people could get away with saying whatever the hell they want to say. Like I said, the judge, if she's judging her cases fairly, which she's been a judge for a while, I think they would have caught on if she was like a horrible judge. Yeah. But I was saying that I made a video about it. The left is going to use this as a tool and an opportunity to let black criminals out of jail. Be like, oh, the judge was racist. Let this criminal thug who terrorized the neighborhood out. And the guy that was actually burglarizing her vehicle, now he's the victim, and the judge is the criminal for saying the N-word.
Bro, it's just honestly, bro, it's just a word, bro. And in reality, bro, it would be the same thing as somebody calling me a spick. That's our derogatory term. And it's funny, bro, because I could say spick on YouTube, but if I say the N-word, oh God.
yeah,
it's stupid, bro. And they're both the same derogatory. They're both meant the same way. They're both meant to mean ignorant, because when you say spick, it comes from what it comes down from is when you would talk to a Mexican, they would say, I don't speak English or English, or however they said it. That's where it comes from. It's a derogatory term meaning ignorance as well. And it's the same thing, dude. It's just one has come up to be popularized because of the civil rights movement and how big it was. And it came, you've seen it happen a lot in the South. You know what I mean? The cops spraying him down, Mississippi burning, all that, dude. So it's the same thing, dude. But it's funny because one holds more weight than the other.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is, black people fought so hard for equality, right? But they don't really want to be treated equal to white people. They want to be treated superior to white people. It's kind of just like the feminist movement, like women's rights. Women wanted to be treated equal to men, but women don't really want to get treated equal to men. Let's treat women equal to men in family court and see how much they like it.
Oh, they would hate it because then that child support check goes away.
Yeah.
I'm being serious, bro. That child support goes away, bro. I say this in humor. My hero is Kevin Federline.
Oh yeah.
You know who Kevin Federline is?
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, dude, He gets that check every month, bro. Family court treating him good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I say that as a joke, bro, but it's the same thing though, man. Like, bro, I had to spend $20,000 to get joint custody of my kids when my ex-wife had to spend, I think, less than $1,000.
A lot of times the welfare office would do all the fighting for them.
She did. The only thing she had to pay for was the filing fees.
Oh yeah, family court ain't no joke. It really ain't. It's, you know, especially when women start making up accusations and oh man, oh yeah, he hit me, he touched the kids, anything they can, you know, and then of course decide with him. You gotta prove it as a man that you're doing everything correctly.
For sure, bro, and that is disrespectful to the judicial system because it's supposed to be fair. Justice is supposed to be blind. But unfortunately, if you, and I mean this in the utmost respect, if you nowadays in modern day times, if you are of a certain pigment, you got Kamala Harris and all them bailing you out of jail,
right?
And you have the Proud Boys being held as political prisoners in D.C., being their heads ran into walls, 23-1 segregation. Bro, human beings are animals that are pack animals. We like to be around other human beings. And what they're doing to our political prisoners out there in DC, dude, for January 6th is terrible.
Yeah, it's completely ridiculous. None of it make any sense whatsoever. Like I said, if anything, they should be going after BLM and Antifa, who actually caused billions and billions of dollars across the country. I'm sure that the so-called insurrection, whatever damage was done, it wasn't nearly as expensive as the summer of 2020.
We call it the summer of love.
Oh yeah.
the Chad, people died in the Chad in Washington State, or the Chaz, or whatever the frick they ended up.
Oh yeah, Chaz or Chop or whatever. They literally took over that city for, I believe, like maybe 3 weeks to a month.
Yeah.
And that wasn't considered an insurrection?
No, that's the summer of love.
That wasn't considered an attempt to overthrow the government. People was literally ODing, women was being raped, people was being shot on the street, and they was blocking off. When the ambulance tried to come to help people, they was blocking the ambulance and the fire department off.
Bro, it was Woodstock West. Summer of love.
and not only that, I don't understand how these, like we know Kyle Rittenhouse was on trial. I don't understand how these mayors and these governors who allow the cities to burn down, how are they not being held criminally responsible when they had the opportunity to call National Guard before these people started burning the cities down? I don't see how they're not held accountable.
Yeah, you're right, bro. It's when you see what's going on in these cities, what went on, especially in 2020, bro. That was all they used that as political against Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
And how is Minnesota doing with that defund the police? How's San Francisco doing with the defund the police?
Well, the politicians that's in favor of defunding the police, like we talked about earlier, a lot of them are being mugged right on the street in the same city where they supported defunding the police.
Right.
I mean, think about it. Lori Lightfoot was all in favor of defunding the police, allowed her city of Chicago to burn down. However, once Antifa started marching to her front door, she refunded the police.
Yeah, dude, and it's crazy because those white college students, man, they crazy.
Oh yeah.
And that here's the funny thing about Antifa in general. Antifa, the Proud Boys rose out because of Antifa. That's how they got popular. How is it that Proud Boys are racist, terrorists, terrible people, whatever you want to call them, and Antifa doesn't exist?
You know the funny thing about the Proud Boys, and I really don't know how to really mention them because you never know. You might get flagged or some kind of algorithm or something over that. But honestly, what I know about the Proud Boys, it was a lot of truth to what they were saying all the time, even though they was considered like conspiracy theorists and all kinds of stuff. Kind of like Alex Jones, you know, he was speaking way too much truth, and he knew too much detail because he was in a lot of the places where these Democratic people that got a lot of money was doing certain things. Alex Jones literally witnessed it going down, just like and Antifa, not Antifa, but the Proud Boys also had a lot of that information as well. So they shut the Proud Boys down before they even got started. And that's why they had to get rid of Alex Jones, because he was getting more followers, more than Ben Shapiro, more than CNN, more than Fox News. Yo, when Alex Jones was on YouTube, yo, he was growing and growing. If they would have let him stay on YouTube, he probably would have more followers than Joe Rogan.
He'd be bigger than Louder with Crowder and Joe Rogan combined. Bro, do you know a lot about Alex Jones?
Yeah, I know a good amount about him, but I don't know how much you want to talk about him on here.
This man, dude, I don't care, bro. I already got a ball. I'm at my wit's end with YouTube anyway. That's why I'm also simultaneously streaming this on Rumble.
Although I'd like Ben Shapiro, I do like Ben Shapiro, but Ben Shapiro contribute to Alex Jones being canceled. I don't know if you know about that.
Oh, we're gonna have to get into that before we end the show. But here's Alex Jones was, to me, he's a reporter's reporter and a great reporter. He got famous because of what he did at Waco. He was literally sitting on his car filming the Waco siege, and got it all out. And he became public enemy number one with Janet Reno because of his policies, where with him reporting that it was a government the government screwed. A lot of the survivors from Waco are saying a lot of the crap that went on that the government and the mainstream media accused them of, or David Koresh of, is lies. They say that he didn't have child brides. And I did a lot of watching on Waco, bro, because it's fascinating.
Yeah, I know Alex Jones had a lot of intake about the Pizzagate scandals.
Yes, Pizzagate, Waco, and the one in Oregon where they killed the family in Oregon. The government did over guns.
Right, and I believe that the Proud Boys philosophies came from Alex Jones.
They did. McGinnis. I don't want to say his full name on here because
of
McGinnis. McGinnis knew a lot of what was going on inside the government, and the whole point of the Proud Boys is a drinking organization with the Patriot problem. I know a lot of stuff that goes on with the Proud Boys, and reasons I don't want to say on this channel because I don't know what Rumble will do.
Yeah,
but I was doxxed and stuff. So when it comes to that, dude, like, I know a lot what goes on in that organization, and it is, dude. What a lot of ex-military people join that group is because it's like being in the military. All it is a bunch of guys talking shit, pro-patriot, and yes, the comments are pretty out there. I don't know if you've ever served, but you know how those comments could get. A lot of I got called a spick a lot, and I said cracker a lot. You know what I mean?
Well, the Proud Boys is AKA Q.
I don't think that. And actually, they're fractured right now.
Okay.
They got fractured because they disbanded the national group because of what happened with his name escapes me right now, but he was locked up and he's trying to get out of jail in DC for burning a black man burning a Black Lives Matter flag. Go fucking figure.
Yeah. Exactly.
What do you think of that?
Well, like I said, it doesn't really matter too much if you're black. If you go against Black Lives Matter, you'll be considered a black supremacist, and they want to shut you down the same way they considered Larry Elder a black supremacist.
Bro, my boy Larry Elder? He's a white supremacist, dude.
Yeah, he's
Are you trying to tell me that Larry Elder has a white hood and robe in California?
Oh, absolutely. Kansas Owens, Officer Tatum, me right here, Savage 50-50. You know.
Oh, the real Greg Kelly?
Yeah, man. We're all like black white supremacists.
Oh, and dude, my boy, Kyle Rittenhouse. He's white black supremacist.
Oh yeah,
He's a
yeah.
white black supremacist, dude. Like he took out 3 white guys.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Precision.
The Kyle Rittenhouse story is just completely crazy because I always thought about what if Kyle Rittenhouse was like a black man and it was 3 white guys with Trump hats on chasing him. Like the
He would be a
narrative would have been
hero.
so different. Oh yeah, he would have been a hero.
You'd have that song Hero by what's his name playing? You'll be my hero, baby, in slow-mo, each bullet.
I mean, just to show you how biased people are, look at Ashley Babbitt killer. He was considered like some great hero cop at the Capitol who shot a 5-foot, 100-pound white woman, and they was praising him like he was some kind of darling.
Oh, dude, his trigger control is terrible. Did you ever see that video of him like pointing his gun at another officer with his finger on the trigger?
Yeah, that whole situation is just completely ridiculous because even if Ashley Babbitt was in the wrong, she still was unarmed. How often do we see black people that's unarmed and then they raise hell and burn the country down if a cop shoot them justified or unjustified?
Yeah, dude. Ashley Babbitt, bro, she didn't even get an honorable military burial.
Absolutely not. I mean, we didn't even know of the killer who it was for like a whole damn near a year.
Yeah, until
he
he
wasn't releasing his name to the public.
Yeah, and Bird. He's a murderer. He's a murderer. Any police officer who ever has to use deadly force, you have to give at least a warning. Get down, and then you use deadly force. He didn't, dude. He pulled that gun, dude. You seen him come out from behind that wall, aim, pull the trigger, and run like a bitch.
Yeah, I don't understand how he's not basically on trial right now for murder.
And then, bro, there should have never been any deadly force because nobody was in danger. You had a group of fucking police officers in riot gear, riot officers coming up from behind that were like 5 seconds away.
All you have to do is reverse the 2 people. Imagine Ashley Babbitt is the cop shooting the black man trying to get into the Capitol. Just imagine.
Oh, dude, Bird would be a hero. Still be a hero, and Ashley Babbitt would still be public enemy number 1 and facing life in prison without the possibility of parole.
It's a culture war on white people right now.
And it's sad, bro, because we're all Americans. We're all Americans. Well, most of us that are here.
Well, the left can't really win off of pro-American, so they have to run their party off of identity politics.
Yes. And it's isolating what is it? Are we 60% white now still, or are we, did that drop yet? You're isolating the other 60% of the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know how they're winning these elections with those kind of numbers. Like, I don't know if it's white guilt, because I mean CRT is terrible. I mean, CRT is terrible.
Oh yeah, see, critical race theory
is a theory.
Definitely. And critical race theory is teaching white people that they are superior to black people. And it's teaching black people that you are inferior to white people. It's literally telling white people, because you are white, you're better than black people. Because you are white, you have white privilege. It literally teaches it's white supremacy. Or I don't even like to say supremacy because I hate that term, because I don't believe that white people are superior or supreme to me. So it's literally, critical race theory is the dumbest thing that I ever heard of. It literally teach white people that they're better than black people. That's what it is.
And black people are rooting for it.
Because they're fools. Black people can't think for themselves. That's why I said black culture is controlled by white liberal media.
Yeah. And
period.
Because I talk a lot to Greg Kelly, bro, and Greg Kelly and Trey the MBD, dude. They're like, dude, this is the dumbest thing out there is this critical race theory. For one, it's not proven because it's still a theory. So why are you going to teach it to young kids? You're not supposed to teach theory. You're supposed to teach fact. And just the way that it's explained a lot better by them, it makes a lot more sense than I could ever explain it. And it's the way you said it, bro. It's teaching people that they're lower than other people.
Yeah, that's all it's
people are
done.
fools.
It's a bunch of people that can't think for themselves, so they just go along to get along.
Or what they're teaching, having those books in schools, bro. Dude, don't teach my kids sex. Dude, isn't that my job as a parent? Your job as a parent to teach your kids about sex?
Well, they want to teach your kids about critical race theory. They want to bring the LGBTQ to the schools. They want to bring BLM to the schools. I mean, unfortunately, the winners get the right to write the history books, and that's why us as conservatives, the silent majority, we got to take the country back. Because if these crazy liberals control the country, we'll be learning in 20 years from now, when the history books are written, that it was 6 months of peaceful protests around the country.
And 1 day of insurrection.
Yeah. 2 hours of almost chance of actually overthrowing the government because of Trump, the white supremacist.
But here's the thing, bro. Thomas Jefferson, who loves chocolate, if you get my drift, he says in the Declaration of Independence, he says in there, when a government becomes too far gone, too powerful, too overbearing, it's up to the citizens to overthrow said government. It's in our Declaration of Independence. He wasn't talking about 1776. He's talking about the decades after that, because he knew that this was going to happen. That's why the War of the Civil War needed to happen, because government was too involved. So they had to take it back and bring it back to basics. It's knocking, bro.
Right, absolutely. I mean, he was talking about a militia, and that's the thing. That's the reason why they want to form this thing called hate speech, because they want to get rid of our Second Amendment. That's the reason why they want to get rid of the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. Once they get rid of that, they can control us. We'll become the next Australia. And they're using the C virus to control us. That was one of their tools as well.
Oh, yeah. And 9/11, honestly, bro, for all the people that lost their lives there, my condolences, because I know real people died that day. That was the start of this. That's what enacted the Patriot Act to start the spying on the American people. Was 9/11. They used that as a tool to start where we're going. It all started 9/11. And it's continued to snowball and get bigger and bigger, because Snowden warned us that this was going to happen.
Absolutely. That's crazy, man.
And I'm a big believer that if we don't start speaking up, if us conservatives, as us Americans that actually believe, whether you're left or right, whether you're center right, center left, we can't be gone both ways. There has to be a middle. And I consider myself center right, because there's a few things I'm liberal about. Prostitution, I'm liberal. Second Amendment, I'm conservative. Not just the other way. But we got to start voicing our opinions, because if not, dude, we're going to lose. We're going to lose, and we're going to be stuck living like Cuba.
Yeah, that's what the Democratic Party of Treason actually want. When it all comes down to it, they don't really care about the letter mafia group. They don't care about CRT, LGBTQ. They don't care about critical race theory. They don't really care about global warming or climate change. They're using all of this stuff as tools to divide the people. It's literally the Willie Lynch letter in modern day time on steroids.
Yeah, because they want you to hate me. They want me to hate you. They want me to hate.
It's the vaccinated against the unvaccinated.
Did you hear what Fauci said about that? Disinvite your family members to Christmas?
Oh yeah, I believe our Lord and Savior Joe Biden canceled Christmas.
The Grinch who stole Christmas.
Yeah, I think Christmas is canceled.
Oh, just so you guys know, I was joking when I said I was liberal on prostitution. Come on, guys. It's an old Chris Rock joke. um, yeah, dude, like you said, bro, like they canceled Christmas. They don't want us to be around family members. And it's because they want, now they're divided. Dude, first they divided us on race, then they divided us on sex, then they divided us on religion. Now they're going after us based on vaccinated and unvaccinated.
Yeah, it's all meant to control and divide. Once they can get the vaccinated against the unvaccinated and all of that, turn us against each other, the mask against the unmasked, and I believe if it's up to them, they'll re-shut down the whole damn country all over again.
Oh, what's
We'll
going
be
to
starting
happen?
from scratch. They're trying to come up with new viruses and new variants and all of this chemicals in the air, and they're trying to use global warming. Meanwhile, they fly around their private jets and drive their big giant SUVs, but they want to control the people. And that's why I say these Democratic people that's actually in power, like Barack Hussein Obama and all of these Democrats, they live their life, living the American dream, their personal life. They live highly conservatively in their personal life, but they want to push liberalism on the people. And people think liberalism is such a good thing. Progressivism is such a great thing until they take complete power. Once they get rid of the guns, once they get rid of your freedom of speech, we're literally going to be no better than Australia, if not worse.
That's why it's going to take the American militia to actually rise up and have to say something, bro. It's in 1776 probably needs to happen again.
We'll see.
I
hope not.
I don't want it to happen, bro, but somehow, some way, somebody needs to wrangle in the government.
Well, we're definitely the divided states of America.
We are definitely divided. You have Texas, you have basically Texas, Florida, Arizona, and all the South, Georgia. They're all conservative. Then you got the upper North, who's all liberal.
Yeah, North Dakota and South Dakota is highly conservative.
Oh, I love me some Kristi Noem, bro.
Yeah, they never even participated in a sea shutdown.
Nope. And I actually went in 2020, right after the shutdowns, dude. I drove to South Dakota because she didn't shut down to go to the Mount Rushmore and all that. Dude, I was walking mask free in the middle of COVID, bro, living the dream. You know what I mean? It was beautiful up there. I love me some Kristi Noem. And she don't get enough credit for that. I would like to see her run with Trump.
Garcia said they don't live conservatively. They are degenerates. I mean, think about it. I mean, Barack Obama lived in Martha Vineyard or something in a whole other island. He don't even want to be nowhere near black folks. He don't want to be nowhere near anybody. So like, I say they live their life conservative because these Democrats they're capitalists. They are capitalists, but they preach liberalism. You see what I'm saying?
Communism. Did me?
Yeah, communism.
It's been a long time, bro, since the mass shooting. One's coming. Dude, I always look at this when a Democrat is in office, right? Have you noticed mass shootings go up?
I mean, it all depends. Mass shootings happen every day in North Philly.
And in South Chicago. And 5 points of Denver.
I mean, black people actually do majority of the mass shootings in the country. However, the narrative is painted on white people.
What do you think?
Ray shoot the club up all the time.
What do you think about that case with that where they arrested the parents and charged them with manslaughter? Should the parents be charged in that?
No. But they should be held accountable where they should suffer some kind of severe consequence. But I don't think they should be charged with manslaughter or anything like that.
What about the school? Because they didn't check the backpack. They didn't. They sent him back to class. They sent him home. I mean, a lot in that case. Because I've been following that case, and that is one of those cases where, like, dude, everybody fucked up.
Yeah, yeah, everybody did. I mean, it's a sticky situation. You know what? More facts got to come out about it before me to have a real opinion about it.
Yeah, because what the parents are saying that because I guess the mom texted him and told him don't do it, and that's what the liberal media is running on right now. I'm sure you've heard of that.
Yeah,
And the mom is now coming. The lawyer for the mom and the dad are saying that he was suicidal, and she thought that when the gun was missed, they didn't find out the gun was missing until after the shooting happened. But and I might have the facts a little bit confusing, but they are saying that when she texted him that, she thought that he was going to commit suicide, and that's what she was worried about.
yeah, yeah. It's a real complex situation. Like I said, I hear different stories about it, and I don't think the facts are actually lining up quite right yet.
It's a weird case, though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, the kid should go to prison for the rest of his life. You don't go
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
do something stupid like that.
Absolutely, he should be charged as an adult, and that should be it. He should have got the same
He should have got
the same
Dylan
time.
roofed.
He should have got 110 years instead of the truck driver.
He should get Dylan roofed. Dude, Dylan Roof killed a bunch of people, and he's going to death. He's dying.
Yeah, he's going to die. I'm sure his life is miserable in protective custody right now.
And I think this young boy who shot up his school, he should face the same consequences as Dylan Roof.
I could see that. I could see that. Or what that truck driver got. I wouldn't mind that neither.
110 years of pure love in the DOC.
Exactly.
He'll get that man. That little boy could get that man love.
Yeah, man. Yo, Bear, this was awesome, man, for having me on here. I gotta kind of wrap things up pretty soon.
I was actually gonna wrap this up in about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna wrap this up. I was gonna go 2 hours. I only wanted to go an hour, bro, but our show started being it went everywhere.
Yeah, man. Thanks to everybody that's in the comments too, man. They're keeping it going.
But yeah, so we're gonna wrap this up, guys. I want to say, Savage, thank you so much for coming on, bro. I love talking with people. I only do lives on special occasions, and I felt having you on was a special occasion to have you on the show. And you already know if you want me on your show, you know how to get a hold of me.
Definitely.
Also, bro, you're very smart. You're intelligent, dude. So please subscribe to this man. I'm gonna put his link in the comments. Again, subscribe to Savage 5050. You will not be disappointed. He's a great YouTuber. You've heard a lot of what his points here. We went over a lot of topics, Savage. We really did.
Yeah, definitely.
All over the place.
All over.
So thank you, my guy. Go ahead and plug your show.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Savage 5050. Savage 5050 on YouTube, man. Look me up. I talk about a lot of race issues, political issues, basically everything me and Bear talked about. You know, I talk about all of that stuff.
Hey, and also, dude, we got to get you on Rumble because
people are saying that.
Because you gotta talk a lot more freer on Rumble than you do here. But thanks so much, dude. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. It's not Happy Holidays?
Yeah, man. Yeah, Merry Christmas, man. And I guess if I don't talk to you between now and then, Happy New Year's as well. But I'm sure me and you are going to be linking up pretty soon.
Yeah, we need to do this more often, bro. And hopefully Joel gets he was supposed to be on tonight, man. And,
yeah, that's what he was saying.
He ran into some family problems, and then Greg Kelly, his family surprised him and showed in for Christmas, so he wasn't able to come on. So we're gonna run this back again.
Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate all your supporters, man. People that newly just subscribed to my channel. I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot for having me on, man.
No problem, Savage. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
All right, man. I'll talk to you shortly, man. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas, man.
All right, peace.
Peace. All right, guys. So, dude, that was Savage 5050. That brother is smart. He knows what he's talking about. Please go and subscribe to him. The Conservative Chicanos actually talked about it. So Tara and Flang, if you want to get on I'm wrapping up my show. So if you want to get in touch with me, you could email me at tcb@tcbshow.net, and I would be more than happy to schedule you on at a later date. But yeah, go ahead and reach out to me at that email address, and I'll be more than happy to put you on the show and we could talk about it. I wanted to talk about, before in closing, I wanted to show you guys a little something behind the scenes. So I know a lot of you guys know about I've been doing a lot of reaction videos. My goal was to do a lot of reaction videos where it comes to talking about, reacting to Christmas carols, and a lot of people were telling me to do I think they're called pentatonics. So I went ahead and I actually created 2 pentatonics videos. Pentatonics, but unfortunately, I got copyright claimed on these 2 videos, and which I found was funny. They're on Rumble, by the way, which I found was funny because we've been doing research for pentatonics, and I was looking at other reaction videos. I figured it was safe to do because a lot of other YouTubers react to them. Not saying that I actually listened to the songs, but I saw that there was a lot of these with these 2 up there. A lot of people were recommending them, and I got copyright claimed. Straight copyright claimed on these videos. So Sony doesn't let me allow on YouTube. I am in the process of actually review under it's I disputed it because of that. So I just wanted to let you guys know, man, those videos are coming. Hopefully I win my dispute, and Sony will let them go. But Sony, for some reason, Sony hates my ass, and they don't want me to be doing reaction videos to pentatonics, even though they were a lot of other people have done them. So I didn't understand that. So I am in the middle of a dispute with them over this. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that. That's why those are exclusive to Rumble. So if you want to watch my pentatonics videos, reaction videos for the holidays, they are on Rumble. They're on Odyssey as well. So please subscribe to me on Rumble. Subscribe to me on Odyssey. Follow me on Twitter at TCB Show. But with that, guys, I want to thank you all for choosing to watch me here on the TCB Show, and my guest, Savage 5050. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a good day. God bless. And as always, deuces.